Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Cardfight Vanguard Gear Chronicle Zodiac Time Beast deck profile for October 2017. Finally got around to completing this deck with the release of Set 12, Dragon King's Awakening. This deck is fully built around the Zodiac Time Beast point of the Gear Chronicle deck, which involves calling a bunch of different Zodiac Time Beasts and the strengthened up Gear Necks from the newest pack to fully bring out the potential of the deck. It's a lot of fun. There's not a big time leap concept to the deck anymore. More or less, you just use the effects of the Zodiac Time Beast you run in the deck to get off multiple attacks, which, in my opinion, is a lot more fun. It's a new, fresh take on the deck as well, because you really just use a bunch of new cards in the deck, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. For Stride Zone starters, I run 4 Chrono Dragon Gear Necks. This card kind of replaces Gear Groovy in the deck. Basically, it has a restanding effect, so you can keep all trigger effects on this unit, knowing it'll restand. You have to return 3 Zodiac Time Beasts from your hand or field after this unit attacks, and you have to activate this effect during your main phase, so you can't copy this effect with Gear Groovy. A lot of people thought that, but the act effect prevents this, since Gear Groovy only can use auto effects, and it has a GV4 effect during the turn attack phase. When this card restands, he gets plus 10,000 power and drive plus 1, meaning when he restands, he originally loses the 2 drive checks, but putting him back up to twin drive with the GV4, it's just too good and very easy to achieve as well. And I also run 4 Metal Pulsar Avenir Phoenix. This is your first go-to stride. For every card face up in your G-Zone that you flip with this guy when he attacks, it's an auto effect. For every face-up card, you can call 2 Zodiac Time Beasts from the top 5 cards of your deck, so multiple units can be called off this card. And a GB3 effect of all your Zodiac Time Beasts get plus 2,000. Meaning the majority of your cards on the field will get a power boost as well with this card. Just too good. It thins out the deck for you for better, strong plays with Gear Necks come next turn, most likely. Also, 2 Chrono Dragon next stage. If you just need that generic stride to go into, next stage is your best bet. He doesn't need the Zodiac Time Beast requirement if you can't be met with that effect, but most of the cards you run in the deck, if not all, are Zodiac Time Beast, so you shouldn't have that limitation. But this card, still, if you don't have the 3 cards to pay, you have this option, plus the extra attack with G, Chrono Jet, could be the better option as well. It's all situational, really. And also 1 Mystery Freeze Dragon. This is a great kill card for potential of limiting cards your opponent can guard with, including grade 0 through 3, depending on what you reveal with the top 4 cards. But also revealing the grade 3 gives you that extra drive check as well, which is a lot of pressure with this card, which is that good one of I like to run. Same with the Beyond Order Dragon, very easy to reach GB8 as well as putting cards back with G-Guardian effects and other effects as well, so you don't have to worry about the top bind of the 8 cards with this card's ability, but that extra main phase is pretty much your kill to go with this unit when you reach it. And then for G-Guardians, I run 1 Hetero Hound Dragon. This is just for pressure against big column decks, putting back a unit that's been powered up pretty highly, and calling hopefully a weaker unit, let's say a trigger. And also 2 Time Maiden Uru. This is another card that helps with the putting back cards to the main deck from the drop zone for plus shield power. And 1 Time Maiden of Eternity Uru is for your big shields for every face-up card in your G-Zone. And that's it for the Stride Zone. We will now move on to the main deck. Run 4 Chrono Jet Dragon G. Your main go-to card on the Vanguard Circle. It has a stride effect. When you stride over him, you choose a card from your hand, call it to the rear guard, and then time leap it. So an easy, free of counterblast cost for time leap. And when this unit attacks, for every 2 face-up cards in your G-Zone gets plus 5,000, and all your Zodiac Time Beast rear guards get plus 1,000. So more pressure, especially when you go for that next stage attack. If you have a lot of cards face up in your G-Zone, you can hit some pretty big numbers with the rear guards included. And I also run 3 Pulsar Replenish Kotal. This is a really good card on rearguard for the counter charge and the plus 3000 ability when it's placed on rearguard from the deck. If you have a Zodiac Time Beast Vanguard, he gets plus 3000, and then if you do not have any face-up cards in your damage, you counter charge 1. So he helps if you need those additional counter blasts with some of your other grade 2s, like Pulsar Spearhead Unicorn, which I run 4 of. It is a counterblast 1. It gets plus 2000 if you have a Vanguard with Chronojet, making it 11k on its own, so a good single attacker if need be. But you check the top 3 cards of your deck for every Zodiac card you control. You check the top card of your deck and then call Zodiac Time Beast from among them to the rear guard so you can help get off multiple attacks with this card. If you're really limited on your hand size and you just have this and your Vanguard to go with, this can provide that additional attack that can also call a potentially good rear guard to the field. For example, Pulsar Cruising Dragon, run 2 of this card. This is pretty much the same effect for the plus 2000, but instead he checks the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add a Zodiac Time Beast from among them to your hand. So you could add cards like Arca to the hand with this card's effect, and the 11k makes it a good individual attacker as well if you need to do that. And I also run 4 Pulsar Rewind Tiger. This is a good card early on for the Counterblast 1. Choose one of your other Zodiac Time Beast rearguards, rest it. When it's placed on rearguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, bind the top card of your deck face up. And if that card's a Zodiac Time Beast, you draw a card, and this unit gets plus 2000, making him a 10k on its own on rearguard, so he can hit most grade 2 attacks on his own or grade 2 Vanguards that your opponent may have. That draw also makes up for the rest unit if you wanted to, but most of the time I just rest my starter Chronodron so I don't miss out too much on the boosting. And to finish up the grade 2s, 2 Chronospin Serpents just for good ride targets so you don't get pressured early on in the game by rearguard attacks. This is just a good card to ride with. And then for the grade 1s, I run 4 Steam Tamer Arca. I have the 1 Arlim in there just proxying because I need 1 more Arca for the deck. But she has the recycle power that that most decks like to use now just to add perfect guards back to hand. You don't counterblast too much with this deck, and when you do, you can easily make them back with your grade 3 Kotal. But Arca's good for that bind recycle ability of hers to make use of. Also, 4 Pulsar Revolver Draco Kid. This is your stride fodder that you use, and it can help search out Chronojet G. You have to reveal a Zodiac Time Beast, and then you add 1 from your deck to your hand. So pretty easy to use. The same benefits, basically, of Steam Breath Dragon instead of Chronojet, though. It's obviously a Zodiac Time Beast card you can search for. And also 4 Pulsar Transit Dragon. This is the card if you have a grade 4 Vanguard with Chronojet in its card name. After this card boosted, you may put it into your soul, and if you do, you draw a card. So it makes up for the boost after the attack, getting to draw a card, also building up your soul for some other abilities later on, and not leaving targets on the field for your opponent to kill with effects. And then lastly, for the grade 1s, I run 2 Pulsar Tamer Hegald. This is if you have grade 4 Vanguard effect again, it gets the Act, Rearguard, Soul, Blast 1. Put this unit on the bottom of your deck and choose a card from your drop zone, put it on the bottom of your deck. You countercharge 1, and then GB1 when this unit's placed on rearguard, you may soul charge 1. So help build up that soul for its cost, as well as countercharging, which really helps, and also that recycle ability comes in handy as well. And then for grade 0s, I run 1 Chronodron. Some people like to run Chronodron G. It's more just player preference. I like this setup with the stride onto Chronojet G during your turn. Time leaving, giving you a grade 3 in hand for possible future stride assist cost. And just that time leap to grade 1 helps all the more for calling cards that are beneficial, like Gald, obviously. And I also run 4 Heart Thump Worker. This is the biggest debated card in the deck. Some people like to run the Chrono Dash Rabbit as the extra crit, just to go full Zodiac Time Beast. But like I said, once again, player preference. If you want to run the Rabbit, you can do that. I still like him for his Put into Soul +5 and draw ability. Comes in handy, definitely at times when you need it the most. And also 4 Pulsar Thruster Bison. We have a new critical for Zodiac Time Beast with an effect of Put into Soul +3. Comes in handy a lot, especially if I have that lone rearguard, like let's say Chrono Spin, that can't hit too big for that +3, also building up the soul with it. And also 4 Pulsar Fickle Monkey, just to fill out as much Zodiac Time Beast cards as I can with the triggers. And for Time Etching Maiden Uluru, I know this isn't a Zodiac Time Beast, but I really like her effect with the Uluru G-Guard. Comes in handy a lot, so that kind of benefits it more to me than the Zodiac Time Beast card. Plus, if I, reveal this card, I really don't want to call it with Unicorn, and most of the time won't want to add it with Cruising. I'll want to drive check it, obviously, to get off the effect with this card. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Qualia out.